212. What's up? What's up? We're back. We're back. I'm starting all over. Flint After Dark. Get it off your chest. Rich Jones and my baby Terrence and Darno Snow. Um, I wanna kind of fill everybody in on what's going on with this craziness as far as these voter registration cards that we should not have received. To make a long story short, the last election that you participated in as far as council races goes, whatever ward you voted in, that's the ward you are still in right now. I know it's a lot of people that think they live in the second ward when they really live in the third ward because they voted in the third ward election. Those voter registration cards do not come in effect according for the council races, council persons that do not come into effect until 2026. Now, we currently have an election coming up May the 7th, and that election is for the 9th ward only. And that's the 9th ward that did not, that's the 9th ward that voted in the last election for the 9th ward council races. Part of the 8th ward will be in the 9th ward in 2026. Some people that voted in the 8th ward got a voter's registration card saying they're in the 9th ward. That card is no good until 2026 as far as voting is concerned. Some polls have closed down, so there's even more confusion. Especially if your poll was in the 9th ward, because your poll, the site you still may be in the 9th ward, but some of y'all that was in the 9th ward polling spot changed. So that got to be addressed. It's a recall going on. It was a recall going on, the second recall of Liddell Lewis. 11 days before they was going to turn in the signatures to get around a certain ballot or whatever. I don't know what the situation was, but 11 days before they turned in before they was going to turn those signatures in, they was told that they was in the wrong district. The district that they was getting signatures in was based off of those voter registration cards. They was wrong. On the 11th, with 11 days left, when they said that they was gathering signatures in the wrong boundaries, area, district, whatever you want to call it, a letter out to every eligible voter in the 9th ward. Same way they sent out those voter registration cards, they got notification that it was an upcoming election. And if I recall right, it's been a minute since Miss Beverly turned those signatures in. So you got to take 11 days plus all the time that they took to tell Miss Beverly that, well, we already knew. It was common sense. If you're getting signatures in the wrong area for 49 days, and then you're getting signatures in the right area for 11 days, you're not going to reach your goal. It's common sense. Anybody that don't think that common sense is whatever, but that's common sense. So instead of we're being where we are now, having that meeting yesterday where they said, and they was politically correct, because now it's too late, being that the election is on May the 7th, to get everything together and mail every eligible voter in the 9th ward something letting them know it's an election. I'm going to get back to the 1st and 7th ward election, which is coming up in August. So, another thing that was brought up yesterday, and I'm just going to say what the end result was. When the signatures was turned in to the county, because they go to the county first, they were counted, and there was not enough signatures to recall her from the right boundaries, and it was not enough signatures to recall her based off of those voter registration cards. Neither one was enough. Then 6 sheets came up missing between the exchange from the county to the city. The 6 sheets are now counted, are now back in the stack or whatever, because there was copies to start with. They're back in the stack. And the result did not change once they were located or reduplicated, however they moved to get it done. The result did not change. Liddell Lewis was not recalled. So we can get into what should have happened and all that other stuff, but that's over with, so we just let it go. Let's get back to the August 7th, I think, election. That's going to be with the 1st ward and the 7th ward. There should be no excuse. I'm going to say it once again. There should be no excuse from the city clerk not to notify all of those voters that are eligible to vote that there's an election coming up and they are eligible to vote. There should be no excuse. But we're in the city of Flint. It's a possibility that stuff happens, and a couple of weeks before the election comes, they'll pull us all. Well, whoever show up, only like 10 people. It was less than 10 that showed up. 2 of them I know for a fact didn't live in Flint. I don't know how many other people that was sitting in front of me to the right didn't live in Flint also. To me, that was a sad room. I'll give a shout out to everybody that took their time to show up to that room. And I don't know what to say about the people that did not show up. It was only one council person there, and that was Judy Priestley. If we drag our feet, have the places, and allow them to wait what is Monday gonna be? Less than 10 days, like 10 days before an election, to say that they ain't got enough time to mail voter information out to every eligible voter in the 7th and the 1st ward, shame on us as citizens. Right now, we have a couple of days. We got this week, and then next week is the election. Yeah, because Monday and Thursday, and then the first Tuesday is the 7th for the next month. So we got like 9-10 days before the election. Immediately after the election, we have a committee meeting on that Wednesday. We should be at that committee meeting demanding that the lack of effort to communicate with the eligible voters in the 9th Ward don't transfer over to the 7th and the 1st Ward. It's a shame that we're going through this, but we're here. Can't cry. We gotta step up, cause y'all can see if we don't step up, what they're gonna do, and why our city don't want to increase its voting population is beyond me. It's beyond me. I feel like. And then there's another thing that disrupted.
It's your boy, Terrence Shell.
Another thing that disrupted me is there's a assumption that Flint holding back his vote can change something. Flint holding back his vote can't change nothing but what goes on in Flint. Flint ain't putting no prosecutor in the office. Flint ain't putting no county clerk in the office. Flint ain't electing no sheriff. Flint ain't electing no governor. Flint ain't electing no president. Flint is a small percentage of Genesee County when it comes to voters. Active voters. Engaged voters. Don't make it or break it. Don't do it. But we need to. I've been talking to Royce of the Black Caucus. It's too late to implement some of our ideals now because of the pushback that's naturally here. It's things that could have been done, like those mailings, that we shouldn't even have to bring up. That's an automatic. Hey, we done messed up. We done sent these out. We need to send something out, notify the eligible voters. But it ain't that simple. It's not going down like that. So, shortly after this election, we'll start implementing and doing stuff and communicating and stuff, trying to get more voters involved and getting more people to the polls and bringing more polls to the people. Our main thing is, our main goal is to bring the polls to the people. Who tap dancing? Who tap dancing? Who tap dancing? Let me see something. Can you hear me out there, James?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, y'all can hear me. Then you ain't answering my question. Who tap dancing? I know you ain't saying I'm tap dancing. You're all right with me. But anyway,
you just keep sucking on that sucker. And when I pull your chain, you bark. Otherwise, don't you say nothing.
And Let's talk about some breaking news. Mayor Neely doing a very smart thing and dropping out of that race.
Hold on. Miss Tier say, Mr. Rich, I respectfully disagree with the statement that Flint voters don't affect what happens on the municipal level and in the government elections.
All you gotta do is take the small number of Flint voters and subtract it from the winner, and then see where you have a new winner. That's all you gotta do. I done did it. It don't affect nothing. Trishelle Young still lost that race. Tim Johnson still lost that race. The president didn't matter. Because remember, you got to remember then, when you're talking presidential, Flint is a part of Michigan. Flint ain't by itself. Take those votes out, and the result is still the same. Now, the city of Flint, the mayor race, yes, every Flint vote count. The council race, yes, every vote count. But you take Flint votes out of the county clerk, your result don't change. You take it away from your sheriff race, your result don't change. It may affect your state rep race because it's predominantly Flint that votes. So that may make a difference in those two races. But the prosecutor and the sheriff and the governor, we don't matter. We got to get our numbers up to matter. Because when we did matter, they respected us. They came to our city for our votes, not our stories. So let's get on to the good move made by our current mayor. And the reason why I say that was a good move by him dropping out of the race, because it was going to be impossible for him to win that Senate race while he was getting recalled as a mayor.
Wheel about and turn about and do just so. Every time I wheel about, I jump Jim Crow. Wheel about and turn about and do just so. Every time I wheel about, I jump Jim Crow. Wheel about and turn about and do just so. Every time I wheel about, I jump Jim Crow.
Man, every time I tell the truth, you give me the soundball reward.
Dummy. You big dummy.
And now you
big dummy. You big
award.
dummy.
Come on, man.
You big cold-blooded dummy. You big dummy. See what you did? Oh, no, you big dummy. Oh, no, you big dummy. You dummy.
I don't deserve the Big Dummy Award, but we ain't gonna even talk about who deserved the Big Dummy Award. I'm just the messenger with this. After facts. But yeah, it should be a dummy award for this, but it ain't me. I'm just stating the facts. You being up against a recall while you're running for a Senate race don't look good. Gonna be hard to win. And then you had to make that choice between what seat you're gonna run for, because you can't run for two seats at the same time. So that was a good move. That was a good move.
What was a good move?
You got something to say, T? That's basically how I feel. And
What was a good move? I needed
to drop out of that race. Man, he was gonna get
Man,
swapped. Man, look, there was no way in the world he was gonna win that Senate race with all of this. How you gonna be a senator when your own people recall you as mayor? That's gonna be a hell of a campaign to overcome. And if you kept your name in the Senate race and they successfully recalled you, now you ain't in no position. Because you're going to lose that Senate race. He has no choice but to lose that Senate race with all of that negative fat from what he done as a mayor. And he can't run for mayor and senator at the same time. So that was a very good move.
he's still an
You can call
idiot.
me big dummy and all that and whatever, but it is what that's the truth. That's the truth. There's no way he was going to win that Senate race with all of the monopoly coming from what's going on with him as a mayor. It wasn't going to happen. And people say what they want to say about me, but that's the truth. That's the honest. If I had to give political advice, which don't nobody pay me for my stuff anyway, I'm going to start doing like Eric Mays, but they paid me. I think I done gave away $1 million worth of game for free to people that don't appreciate it. Some people been left out in the cold. Thought they had heroes. Then they got left out in the cold. Realized old Richie Rich was telling the truth. Sad but true. But for real, on May the 8th at that committee meeting, we need to start putting our foot down and making sure that the hiccups and the lack of voters' notoriety in this 9th ward race don't happen in the 1st and the 7th ward races in August. I hope that the news get out. But from my knowledge, all of those people are going to get correct ballots anyway. But I'm scared for the people that ain't going to vote for the president, don't really know about the other races, but they would vote if they knew that it was a council race. That's what I'm scared of. And they're not showing up to the polls to vote. That's what I'm scared of. Hopefully my fear is in vain, but I fear that because we got a whole lot of registered voters that don't vote. Like 87, 86% of our registered voters don't vote. We got to change that.
Yeah, that's why.
And I will be a happy man.
That's why they shouldn't complain if they don't get out and vote. You know what I mean?
I feel
That's why, man. That's why that little bitty nigga be winning, man, because he catered to the white people. Man, he got the formula, man. I'm gonna tell you, because we all know black people ain't gonna get out and vote, man. I'm sorry. I hope don't nobody get mad at me. You can have 10,000 black people, maybe 1,000 gonna come out and vote, versus white people gonna come out and vote, man. It's just simple as that.
And you ain't
I mean,
lying because
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, and that's why you cater to the white people, man. Niggas just ain't gonna get out and vote, man. That's all. That's as simple as that. But they shouldn't complain.
You are very close to being right.
Yeah, no, right.
And then all you got to do is look at the ninth ward, predominantly white people vote in the ninth ward. Eighth ward, predominantly white people vote in the eighth ward. And Sheldon Neely always, because those are the first two wards that they go backwards. Some kind of way, Burston and that church that they lost the ballots didn't sign the boxes for, always toward the end of the election. I don't know why, but they are always toward the end. But
Hey,
the first
let's talk about
results are always the ninth and eighth ward, and he always have a huge lead on the
let's
first
talk,
reports.
let's talk about the
Because
ninth ward for a minute. So ain't that the race that's coming up?
the what?
The ninth ward. Ain't that the seat that's coming up?
Yep, May the 7th.
So who are all the candidates over there?
I kind of messed my phone up to get it. I started sending myself to me. I sent you the flyer.
So who over there though? You
They
don't
all
remember?
on, I don't know. They on the flyer. They on the flyer.
I'm gonna tell you, man. If any of them people were smart that's running, they would go to the Regencies and to the what's left of Stonegate. It's still people out of
Yeah, hey,
Stonegate. They think
that's
people ain't out of
political
Stonegate, right?
consultant information that they ain't
Listen,
paying for.
listen. Go out there with voter registration cards, man. Go out there with voter registration card, knock on every goddamn door. If they can pull that off, whoever do that, they'll win that, man. They'll win that ninth ward, man. Just for the that little piece of Stonegate and the Regencies alone.
AT,
Telling you.
could you just imagine? And this is possible that they could vote from right after Regency early. Could you imagine if we could have early voting set up at churches all
Hey,
throughout
hey,
Flint?
hey, it's the congressional race. She had said, pardon me, Mary Neely chooses to drop out of the congressional race.
Yeah,
I guess.
that was a smart move. That was a very smart move. At least at the very worst, he get to finish his term out as mayor. He was in jeopardy of for the next 2 years not having no seat. That was a very good move on his behalf. One paycheck is better than no paycheck. Because he definitely was. It was too much, even for the greats. Man, that man know how to put he be campaigning. I swear, shoot, I just can't do it. But he's a hell of a campaigner. He know how to campaign. And if you think he don't. If you think he don't know how to campaign, don't run against him.
Who you talking about, little man?
Nearly little man, whatever y'all want to call him. If you think he don't know how to campaign, you're best not to run against him.
He a true politician.
Straight up.
I'm gonna give him that, but that's
Got
all
to.
that's all I'm gonna give him.
Got to. Record shows.
Yep.
But we can't have no more. We can't have this no more. It don't make no sense these voters don't know it's an election. And see, they the only ones on the ballot. The first and the seventh ward, we got something to our advantage because you got all of these other races that they're into. Oh, let me tell y'all another thing too. That as soon as the ballots are official, I will be doing who's on my ballot. That way, all of the confusion about what ward you live in and all that stuff, where your polling place at. We got 2 districts as far as our state reps is concerned. We got different county commissioners. So it's an interesting ballot. And
Hey,
I
so
think we got some initiatives on there also. I'm not sure. But all I know is it's a presidential ballot. So we need who's on your ballot. And what that do is that give everybody an opportunity to find out their choices and, be out on the street. And people like to say, research.
hey, so
I
that
hate that
hey
word.
Rick, so that meeting yesterday was all for none, right? It was a waste of time.
Yesterday should have been the day after they told Miss Beverly that she had 11 days to go in the right area to get signatures. That's when yesterday should have took place.
I want to know whose fault it is, man. In your opinion, whose fault is it?
The county clerk, the city clerk, and the Secretary of State.
That's
I'm
too
not
many
going to
people.
just leave all of that on the county clerk. Yeah, on the city clerk. Yeah, the county clerk has a website. But who know to go to the website? If they don't know it's an election, what the hell they know about a website? If the website is up there, it should have been cards out there to every eligible voter. And on that card, let them know it was election, they could also go to that website. They throw a website up. You still got terrible communication between the Secretary of State and the city of Flint. You already see, or let me explain another thing to y'all. Let me tell y'all why the county has more.
Miss Tia said you got it right. Now you got it right, Mr. Rich.
The county has, why the county have more county registered voters than the city do, is because if there are duplicate signatures, the county will count 1. If there are duplicate signatures, which is crazy, but the city discount both signatures. So when you have duplicates, that's the reason why your county may say 600 and the city say 550. Because it's really 100 signatures that's double, like 50 signatures that's twice. And the city account one of them, the county account one of them, and the city gonna discount both of them. So that's why it's a difference in the city and the county vote. And then also, the city act a little bit funny when it comes to those signatures. And it then got to the point to where it's 2 systems that is used when it comes to gathering signatures. One system, which is mine, that I ain't been paid for. And it's the old signature.
Hey, I'm just gonna say it, man. Somebody been bought and paid for, man.
And no,
Simple as that.
and the second and really the first way of getting signatures is the old way. And that way is, if you need 100 signatures, you got to get 200 signatures. And then most of the time that don't work. One time I was involved in that and we turned in 800 signatures. We needed 400 and our result was a little over 200 were good. So out of 800 signatures, because of the old way of getting signatures, it was 600 out of 800 wrong. The way I taught it, and like I said, I wasn't paid for it because that was $1 million. Remember, I told you $1 million worth of game not compensated. That was a hell of a thing because if you needed 700 signatures instead of getting 1,400 signatures and be like, damn, we still may not get her, you can get 1,000 signatures and I guarantee you that she's got. Ain't much of a difference, but it's a savings. That's why I say with the first petition drive that we did, when we wasn't allowed to get another 100 because we was so far away from 1,400, which meant that all of the veterans, all of the people that was gathering signatures from the time of if you need 100, get 200, there was no way that they should have just relaxed when I said we need another 100 signatures. They should have been like, well, oh hell, I'm used to getting 1,400 anyway. I'm still saving $1,600. And the significance of that is we was in the wrong district, right? They would have had to tell us you are in the wrong district, which meant this last petition drive, instead of them waiting till 11 days left to tell us you are in the wrong district, they would have had to tell us from day one. And some of those bad days that we had on an Even Worthy drive, we wouldn't have had because we wouldn't have went in that area anyway. Because you got to remember, most of the people that signed a petition to recall Even Worthy was in the 9th Ward, whether you looked at 26 or 21, because most of the new people wasn't signing anyway. We had a very few from the new ward that signed, and we spent our last days definitely in the 9th Ward. It wasn't no question at all what ward we was in, and that's the reason why Even Worthy got recalled. And like I said, this last election, it was messed up because
Hey James, here we go again.
What?
James said, here we go again.
Yep. And but this last election, the last time we was told 11 days before the final bet, hey, y'all been in the wrong area. So hopefully next time that the drive take place, the same voter information is given the way the wrong voter information was given. And maybe we won't have to get double the votes but the way I'm looking at it now, I say we gotta do it both ways. We gotta collect signatures the way I taught her, and we gotta get double the signatures.
Man, ain't you tired of all this bullshit, man? It's always something in Flint, man. It's always something, man. This shit so redundant and repetitive, man. So it's shit like that movie, Groundhog Day. Every time my man wake up, you start the same day back over again, man.
Small mistakes can hurt a lot. Small mistakes can hurt a lot. We had a lot of small mistakes made that hurt a lot. We got a lot of people calling to recall somebody that they helped get elected. And that's including the mayor. So small steps hurt a lot. We just gotta be right as people. And that's a prayer, dog, because I know these individuals. And it's a bunch of crabs. It's a bunch of gatekeepers calling people gatekeepers. This city
And the gatekeeper is gatekeepers within gatekeepers.
is
The people,
gatekeepers
the
calling
people.
people gatekeepers.
Yeah, that's right. The people that's accusing the people being gatekeepers is actually the gatekeepers.
And I ain't no gatekeeper because I ain't trying to hold nobody back. I ain't trying to hold nobody back. I had we were talking about somebody, I ain't gonna say their name. Me and one of my friends, right? And she break out and say, "Oh, y'all be together." I say, "I'll be there to support them. When have you ever seen them with me at one of my events?" "Oh yeah, you do got a point." You know,
Ms. Tia said it was no mistake. This last recall was calculated move at the top of the fourth quarter. So let's move on.
they changed it. They changed it. Definitely did. They changed it up. They changed it up, and they knew. And I feel that they knew a long time ago that the information you was going off of was wrong. I just wish that enough votes was gathered the first time out that they would have had to say you were in the wrong boundaries and we would have been in the right boundaries for that last recall. Because it don't make no sense. I got them 7 sheets of paper for nothing. Didn't even give them to Miss Bell. What? Worthless. They was all in the 3rd ward. I can go all to them. Matter of fact, I done talked to some of them people. They done already signed the recall petition for Quincy. My neighbor didn't sign the recall for Quincy because he was confused with the conversation. But some of the other people that I talked to, they said, yeah, I signed. So it's a mess. But we got to get it. We can get it right. We can get it right. We just got to pray for this May the 7th election. And we got to make sure that the 1st and the 9th ward don't get treated like the 9th. I mean, the 1st and the 7th ward don't get treated like the 9th ward voters did. The 9th ward voters got dealt a bad hand when it comes to this upcoming election. Did you find that flyer yet? Because it got the candidates on it. It's the black and gold one. Well, anyway, it's going to, for all of you 9th ward listeners out there, because I'm not finna mess this phone up, but it's at the Word of Life Church. It's from 6 to 8. Doors open at 6. The forum starts at 6:30. It's hosted by the Black Caucus of Flint. All 3 participants have signed up to be there. So y'all just come on up. And a matter of fact, Hold on, y'all. I'm finna send it to this other phone. Hold on, I'm getting it. Okay, don't do that.